welcome back to another grocery haul. Today's a little grocery haul, which I'm going to talk about in a second. It's not your everyday usual grocery haul, okay? It is for my stockpile, and it's pretty much only 2 products, but I want to tell you guys about it. I'm going to show you how much of everything I'm buying today as well. But what's happened is, I just thought I'd pick up the camera because I'm in lockdown, and if you saw my video from the other day, I sort of started mentioning stuff I wish I'd had in my stockpile and things that I was running low on. I wish I'd had more in my stockpile. 2 things were milk and bread. Now I used to freeze milk and bread, like quite a lot of it in my chest freezer, but then I started filling my chest freezer up with more veggies and meats and meals and stuff like that for my stockpile. Just so I had probably 2 to 4 weeks worth of stuff between all my freezers, so if there was ever an emergency, job loss, anything like that, or if we're going into lockdowns, then I would have stuff and I wouldn't have to go to the supermarket, wouldn't have to spend money when we didn't have it, all of that kind of stuff. So I've got a really good thing going. Everything's slowly building up, and that's what I'm doing. I'm slowly building up my emergency stockpile, but I made room for the other stuff and just completely forgot about milk and bread as such, because I just thought, I don't know what I thought. I just thought, I just forgot, I think. I just forgot. Like, I used to do this and I just forgot. So what's happened is we've gone into lockdown. I'm in Victoria. We're in lockdown. I said to my husband, well, that's it. I don't want to go near the supermarkets at all. I don't want to have to go into the supermarket especially. I want to avoid doing a lot of like click and collects with groceries or even deliveries because of contact. Now when it comes to deliveries with the supermarket, they're already booked out a couple of days in advance now because everyone's in lockdown, so no one wants to go to the supermarket. Just with the Delta strain, I think everyone's being extra cautious now, and I definitely am too. When it comes to click and collect, the time slots are selling out fast, so you've got to actually be on the ball and get them done. So my pickup today is not until after 4 o'clock, which is much later in the day for me than I normally do, but that's okay. At least I can get stuff today because I am completely pretty much out of milk and bread. I've got like a cup of milk left and 2 slices of bread left, and that's it. Now I thought I was going to have enough milk and bread to last me until my top-up shop, which is actually in a couple of days, or maybe even tomorrow. I might have to do it tomorrow, we'll see. But I don't have enough. I don't have enough to get through tonight. Isabella will want milk before bed as well. I don't have any for breakfast, so if I don't have milk or bread, I don't have milk for cereal, I don't have bread for toast. So I'm like, right, I really have to go to the supermarket and at least get that. So with that, I thought, right, I'm gonna fix my freezers, make room to put milk and bread, and then I thought I'll tell you guys how I do the milk situation, because that's something people are always very interested. Bread's very easy, you put it in the freezer, that's it, it's done. Milk, people get confused with, because not a lot of people freeze milk, but it's perfectly okay to do so. It's actually fantastic to have when you've had a baby or something like that and you don't have time to just run down the shop and get milk and things. It's great to have in the freezer because you just defrost it, shake it up, and it's good to go again. And whatever the use by date is, say it's 5 days from now, well, when I defrost it, if I freeze it today, then when I defrost it, I've still got another 5 days on it. So I'm going to show you how I keep track of that as well. But it's great to have. The one thing that will happen with milk when you freeze it is it might look a bit yellow because it separates, the fats separate and things, but all you've got to do is once it defrosts, you just shake it up and that all changes back to good old white normal milk. Tastes the same, works the same, it's completely fine. So it's a great thing to have in backup in times like this. And for me personally, because we do go through a fair bit of milk, the kids love milk too, like just plain milk cups and things. I want to have it on hand, do you know what I mean? And I use it for cooking as well, and I use it for so much stuff. So me thinking I had enough was good at the time, but I don't have enough. So I just feel dumb not having it in my freezer. You know, even though I have a good sense for this type of thing, obviously with meal planning and all of that, I'm not perfect at it, okay? So I'm not perfect at it, but hopefully you can learn from my videos here on me saying, oh, I should have had bread and milk in the freezer. Why didn't I? So stupid. I tell you what, a good thing to do is, I suggested this the other day, if you're not in lockdown right now and you've started building an emergency stockpile, go a week of not buying groceries and just seeing how you go living off what you've got, and then you really know what you're missing. And that's what's happened to me this week, because very specifically this lockdown, I don't want to go near the supermarkets as much as possible. I'm quickly realizing what I actually don't have and what I need to start putting into my stockpile. So this is a good lesson for me. Before I show you what I've done with my freezer, I just want to show you guys quickly. These were in my last grocery haul, all of these. So chickpeas, fava beans, which are, well, I've just learnt, broad beans, different flavors. They're from the healthy aisle. These would be great for stockpiling as well. They've got a pretty good use by date on them. Let me look at this one, 2022. So about a year's worth there. So that's actually really good. The kids might not like them, but I like them. Johnny doesn't think they're too bad. They're a much healthier option than chips and chocolate and stuff like that. But they are expensive as well, but you don't need to eat a lot of them to enjoy them, like to get satisfied. So that's what's really good. I've just done a video which will be going on the VIP lounge of me taste testing all of these, telling you guys, like VIP members, about the prices and all of that, all the details and what I thought. Definitely VIP members, keep an eye out for that video because it will pop up on the VIP lounge probably in the next week. I'd say I'm going to try to put it up there for you guys, but I just wanted to quickly show you guys these because these are another option that I've just discovered and they're not too bad. All right, so this is my chest freezer. If you're a regular watcher, you know that this would actually be 3 of these deep normally, so I'd normally have 2 more on here. What I've done is really tried to condense everything down into these buckets a bit more and move some stuff into my upright freezer here. I've actually made this drawer for vegetables, so I started filling a lot more in there. I've rearranged this whole upright freezer just a bit more. This one here is actually for all my pre-made freezer meals that I have. So, and then up here I've got just you know, chicken wings, other things that we might actually buy, like packets of, what are those, filo parcels, the chicken parcels, that type of thing, you know. That's kind of what's in this freezer. So I've tried to move as much as I could into here and make room. So my plan here is, I'm thinking milk. That's what I'm thinking here. So with the milk, I'm thinking on this side I could probably fit 2 litre milks. This is what I'm thinking. Perhaps I could fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 8. But maybe 6, depending on how they fit in here, I think. Possibly 8, that would be good. And this is tall enough for it to still sit on here nicely. And then I could fit some more on here, but then I've still got room on top of here for if I want to put extra bread or other bags of veggies and stuff. I've got room to do that. So I'm thinking that's what I'll do. And what's in here? Oh, veggies, extra veggies there too. So I can easily still get to the veggies. The milk's not going to be a problem just to lift out a couple, you know what I mean? I don't go into that bucket often because I've got the ones I'm actually using at the time for that fortnight is usually in the other freezer. Okay, and this freezer, and my little guy's still here, my friend, you guys see him every time I open the freezer. This is one of those Ushis, you know, that change colour, so the kids, oh, he's so cold. The kids usually, I find him hiding in here all the time. Anyway, I buy Tip Top sandwich loaf bread now. They're quite big, but I can still manage to fit 2 rows of them. So I'm thinking in here I'll probably fit 8 loaves. I think that's what I'll fit in here. So my plan is to always try to have 8 loaves of bread in here as much as possible for the start of my fortnight after I've done groceries. And then also have my usual freezer sandwiches. Like, I'm so low on these as well because school hasn't gone back and Johnny doesn't need to take sandwiches to work right now because of the shifts he's doing. So I haven't filled this. So I am literally so low on bread. I desperately needed to get it today. So I need to make sure this is well stocked and just make sure I do this every fortnight to keep it going. It's hard to tell how much you're going to use of stuff, and not everyone likes bread and stuff, but for us, I think because Johnny was a baker and we had a lot of bread in the house all the time, it was just, we love bread. We love it, doing different things with it. Like, we love it, you know what I mean? So it's, for us, it's a really good option. We enjoy sandwiches, we enjoy toasties, we use it for breakfast, obviously, all of that. So it's something I personally want to have on hand. It's what we like, and you know, it's easier for me to buy the loaves than to make the bread too, because I've gone and tried to make bread before in that big lockdown that we had, and I just couldn't find the right recipe. Like, it just wasn't as light and fluffy as, you know, the Tip Top loaves of bread that I'm buying right now. It was quite dense, and I just didn't enjoy it. Plus, when you make bread, you kind of have to eat it that day or it starts going a bit stale and not as nice. So I just prefer to buy it. If I can buy it, I'll buy it. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so I have 5 billion milks and bread. So my thoughts for these are that one of the loaves I'm going to have to put in the pantry because we're already through. Oh no, we have no bread. That's right. I've got like 2 slices left. So one's going to be in the pantry. The rest of these I'm going to try to fit in my freezer. The milk I'm actually going to put in, how many in the fridge? I think I'm going to put 1, 2, 3. I can fit 3 because my milk is like, there's a cup of it left and that's it. So 3 of them will go in the fridge. And then the rest of these I'm going to put in the freezer. So I'm going to show you how I do that because, what's the date on these? The 2nd of August. Oh, so hang on, they've got July. So actually, I'll just make sure that the ones that are supposed to expire sooner, obviously will go in the fridge. I'll use those first. And then these ones all have the same date on them, don't they? So, all right, I'll show you what I'm going to do with these. Because this freezer was empty, I have had no existing frozen bread in here. So what I'm doing is I'm actually putting 4 loaves in now. Going to wait till they freeze in a couple of hours. Once they're frozen, I'm going to actually add these loaves on top. And I'll put these loaves kind of on the side like this. It just means that because Tip Top's quite large, it will fit in there a lot better. But because these are already frozen, it's not going to squash the bread. So that's just a little tip I've got for you to do that. So if your freezer's empty and you can do that, then it's easier to do that. Otherwise, if I had frozen bread in here already, I just move all the frozen to one side and make sure I use that first and have the others and do the same thing, if that makes sense. So that's a good way of doing it. My other thing is, you know, Tip Top's so big, so sometimes you guys would have seen when I've really been trying to cut down on my spending, especially with bread, that I will have in here bread that's only like $1.60 loaf or something from Aldi, or $1.20 actually. I think it's even $1.20. I'll have that in the freezer. It's much smaller. The slices are much smaller, but we'll use that one for toast. So we'll just pull out slices as we need it, because it's not the best bread to make sandwiches. It's not very soft and fresh and things. Definitely we like this for fresh sandwiches for sure, but it's good enough for toast. But it's much smaller than the Tip Top. So when Johnny has it, he'll have like 4 or 5 pieces, maybe even 6 pieces because it's so small. So because I've got the money this week, I've just gone with Tip Top, and I'm just going to go with that because we love the bread, like we really do like it. So anyway, I'm going to wait until that freezes, then top the other one on top of it. All right, so I've got my milk in. So remember, I actually put 3 into the fridge. So I've put 6 here at the moment. I was hoping I could fit some more there, but I can't. I'll actually save that space for like bags of veggies or chips or something like that. I'd say I'll be able to fill that space. There's more room on here to actually put more milk as well, so I'll probably put some more on here at some point as well, just to make sure I've got a good amount stocked after learning my lesson this fortnight and this lockdown. All right, so what I've done, I'll let you know how I do this. So when I've put all the milk in, because I've had none in here, I've just put a number 1 on everything. So next time I buy more milk and put some in, I'll do a number 2. So I know when I'm pulling out the milk, which number to grab next. Obviously, it's going to be the lowest number to use first. What I've already done here on the actual, well, if you can see that on here, and I've used a Sharpie. Okay, you want to use a Sharpie because it needs to, obviously with condensation and stuff, it needs to stay on there, and that's the best thing to use. So I've crossed the date there, obviously, because I know that I probably will pull it out obviously later than that date, we'll see. But I've just said defrost, and I said plus 13. So according to the date that I'm on right now, I've still got 13 days until obviously we're going to hit the 2nd of August. Now what that means, if I write DF 13, I'm obviously, when I defrost this, I'm going to use it within 13 days for sure. Like, it's not going to be sitting in the fridge that long, you know what I mean? Like, we'll probably use it within 3 days or something. But if by chance Coles had actually given me milk that only had, say, 4 or 5 days left in it, I need to know that. So that's why I would write it on here, right? DF plus 13. So it means when I defrost this, I'm going to write the date that I defrost it, and I know I've just got to keep an eye on it and make sure we use it within, you know, the few days that I might actually have left. There's no issue with this milk, obviously, because they've given me a really long expiry, which is quite odd. But it's good, you know what I mean? They've obviously going through a lot of milk and stuff at the moment, so they've got the dates there. But in cases where you don't, you want to do this so you know how many days you've got left, because even if I pull this milk out, say on the 10th of August, it's not out of date because it's been frozen. So you're giving it the life from today that it would normally have. once it's defrosted, if that makes sense. So all I do to defrost is I just pull out the milk, I'll dry off the side and write that date, whatever day that is that I pull it out. I pop it on the bench and just let it start, or in the sink, and let it start defrosting. It obviously turns into ice. You just want to shake it, you know, go through and shake it every now and then through the day, because you'll see that once this actually freezes up, it goes yellow, but it's just the fat separating. All you need to do is shake it up and it will turn white again, tastes exactly the same, everything's good. So it's really simple and easy to do. So if you want to freeze milk for some reason, if you live far from a supermarket perhaps as well, or you've got kids and you go through a lot of milk and you don't want to, you know, obviously visit a supermarket during lockdown, stuff like that, this is a good thing to do if you've got the space. So there you go, guys, that's how I actually do frozen milk. And it's getting super dark outside now, it's super late. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that there's my little grocery haul for today. Only bread and milk, but I wanted to show you how much I got, and then obviously how I freeze both of them, give you a few little tips there. I hope this helps someone out there. And I will not make the same mistake and for some reason not have milk and bread in my stockpile like I used to. I don't even know why that happened or how that happened, but it did. You know, I'm not perfect, I make mistakes as well, but definitely something I'm going to keep an eye on from now on. So it's done. There will be a normal grocery haul coming up here on the channel this week, so don't forget to come back and check in on that. If you're a VIP member, definitely be sure to check out the VIP lounge and everything that's going on there at the moment, because new blog posts are sort of popping in on there from what used to be the normal This Mum at Home website. All that's gone now. Everything's just going to be crossed over to the VIP lounge. If you want to see the VIP lounge and what it's all about, I'll leave a link below to that as well. But there is also a meal plan with me video already up on the VIP lounge for this fortnight that I'm in right now, so you can see what I've got meal planned and how I've done all of that for this fortnight and in lockdown, and with Johnny working and the work shifts he's been doing. It's been a whole thing. Definitely go and have a look at the video so you can see that. But otherwise, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. Bye.